Despite their massive popularity, some legendary songs fall just short of the Billboard Hot 100's top spot. In this video, we'll look at 10 iconic songs that were blocked from number 1. You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift. Taylor's 2009 hit You Belong With Me is one of the most beloved pop country crossover songs of the late 2000s. It was the signature song of her early career, and it only grew in popularity as time went on. The song's relatable lyrics and upbeat melody made it a standout on her Fearless album. However, despite its widespread popularity, You Belong With Me only peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, blocked by the Black Eyed Peas' global smash I Got a Feeling. 2009 was the year where the Black Eyed Peas were dominating the charts with back-to-back hits. I Got a Feeling was an unstoppable force, spending an impressive 14 weeks on number 1, while You Belong With Me thrived on country and pop radio, but it didn't quite achieve the same level of dominance on digital downloads, which were key factors in the Hot 100 rankings at the time. Despite falling short of the top spot, You Belong With Me became one of Taylor's most defining songs. Its impact went beyond the charts, solidifying her status as a crossover superstar. The music video even earned her a VMA for Best Female Video, which led to this iconic moment.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Shake It Off by Mariah Carey. Released in 2005 as the third single from the emancipation of Mimi, Mariah Carey's Shake It Off was an instant hit. It is an empowering breakup anthem with a breezy, minimalist production. Lyrically, the song talks about shaking off a toxic relationship. Its infectious hook and Mariah's signature whistle notes made it a favorite among her fans. Shake It Off debuted high on the Billboard Hot 100, gradually climbing the chart and becoming one of her most successful 21st century songs. Shake It Off was blocked from reaching number 1 because of another Mariah song, the mega hit We Belong Together. For a long stretch, the two songs simultaneously occupied the top 2 spots on the Billboard Hot 100, cementing Mariah's dominance of that era. While having 2 songs in the top 2 positions is a huge achievement, it also meant Shake It Off had no room to rise further. Even without a number 1 peak, it remains a feel-good anthem and one of the best songs of Mariah's career. Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. Fast forward to late 2009, and Lady Gaga was on a generational run, releasing what would become one of her most iconic songs, Bad Romance, the lead single from her The Fame Monster EP. It was an epic pop track that showed off Gaga's theatrical flair. The song explores themes of love and heartbreak, all wrapped up in high-energy electropop production. With its dramatic music video, it became a cultural phenomenon in the early 2010s. However, it faced stiff competition on the charts as it climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. The top spot was held by Kesha's breakout hit TikTok. The party anthem dominated the charts for 9 consecutive weeks, leaving no room for Gaga's darker single to take the crown. While TikTok represented a shift towards a lighter, more escapist pop in the early 2010s, Bad Romance was a cinematic masterpiece that should have gotten the number 1 spot, even if it was only for a week. The song went on to win 2 Grammy Awards, including Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, and became one of Gaga's most popular songs. Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa. Released in 2019 as the lead single from Future Nostalgia, Don't Start Now was a career-defining moment for Dua Lipa. The song was a perfect blend of disco revival with a modern pop flair. With its infectious bass line, it became a global sensation, but it only managed to peak at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Back in 2020, the song solidified Dua's position as one of pop's leading innovators, but because of timing, it never got to number 1. At the height of its popularity, Roddy Ricch's breakout hit The Box was dominating the charts. The Box was a true viral sensation, spending 11 weeks at the top of the charts, blocking Don't Start Now from climbing any higher. It was a classic case of 2 massive hits vying for the same top spot, with one simply being unstoppable. Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. Few songs have captured the essence of the late 2000s as perfectly as Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. Released in 2009, the song was a pivotal moment for Miley's transition from a Disney star to a mainstream pop artist. Despite its infectious hook and staying power, Party in the USA was blocked from the number 1 spot by I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. In its 14-week run on number 1, I Got a Feeling blocked a lot of iconic songs from the number 1 spot. It was a cultural phenomenon at the time, and the year belonged to the Black Eyed Peas, as they spent a total of 26 weeks on number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's half of 2009. Party in the USA is a legendary hit, as it not only launched Miley into a new phase of her career, but it also managed to become an anthem for 4th of July. It comes back to the charts each year around that time. Gangnam Style by Psy. In 2012, Psy's Gangnam Style exploded onto the global stage, becoming a viral phenomenon that took over the world. Especially the video, with its fun choreography and memeable visuals, became the first YouTube video to reach 1 billion views. Its cultural impact was undeniable, as it introduced K-pop to a global audience. On the Billboard Hot 100, Gangnam Style held the number 2 position for an incredible 7 weeks, unable to dethrone Maroon 5's One More Night, which clung to the top spot with its massive radio airplay. While Gangnam Style dominated streaming and digital downloads, One More Night benefited from being played on radio non-stop, which was still a major factor in chart calculations at the time. YouTube views were not taken into account on the Billboard Hot 100, so it never got over the hump to become a chart topper. The legacy of Gangnam Style is not defined by its number 2 chart peak. It broke barriers for non-English songs on the Hot 100, paving the way for future K-pop acts like BTS to dominate the charts. Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud is nothing short of a modern classic. Released in 2014 as a 3rd single from his album Multiply, the song quickly became a wedding staple thanks to its heartfelt lyrics and Ed's smooth vocals. It is a timeless love song, but it only managed to peak on number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in January 2015, blocked by the juggernaut that was Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk. Uptown Funk dominated the charts like a force of nature, spending an impressive 14 weeks on number 1. Its funky beats and infectious energy made it impossible for a love ballad to break through. Thinking Out Loud spent 8 weeks on number 2, and its chart performance cemented Ed Sheeran in the US market. It also became one of the biggest songs from that era, winning Grammys for Song of the Year and Best Pop Solo Performance in 2016, but it was stuck behind another generational hit. Hotline Bling by Drake. Released in July 2015, Drake's Hotline Bling was an undeniable hit. From its catchy melody and infectious beat, the song was everything a chart-topping hit should be. The accompanying music video instantly became a viral sensation because of Drake's dance moves, inspiring countless memes and cementing the song as a pop culture staple. However, despite its popularity, Hotline Bling only peaked on number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, blocked from reaching the summit by The Weeknd's The Hills in its 4th week on number 1. The song was dropped during a period when The Weeknd was dominating the charts, with tracks from his breakout album Beauty Behind the Madness. Another reason Hotline Bling never went to number 1 was that the music video was released exclusively on Apple Music initially. At the time, Apple Music did not report its streaming data to Nielsen Music. Despite its runner-up status, Hotline Bling still became one of the defining tracks of 2015, influencing not just music, but also internet culture for a long time. Don't Ya by the Pussycat Dolls. Released in 2005, Don't Ya was an explosive debut single for the Pussycat Dolls, catapulting them into global stardom. It was a song tailor-made for the dance floor, and the hook, "Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me," became huge, even being used in movies. Despite its huge popularity, Don't Ya spent 3 consecutive weeks on number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, unable to unseat Mariah Carey's We Belong Together. At the time, Mariah was experiencing one of the biggest career renaissances in pop history, and the song dominated the charts for a record-breaking 14 weeks and ended the decade as the biggest song of the 2000s. While Don't Ya was a massive hit in its own right, it could not overcome We Belong Together. Purple Rain by Prince. Purple Rain is more than just a song. It is a masterpiece, a genre-defining anthem of the 80s. Ran as a centerpiece for Prince's 1984 movie and clocking in at over 8 minutes. It is a miracle it managed to become a radio hit. It became one of Prince's signature songs, blending emotional lyrics and that monumental guitar solo, as it remains one of the most iconic songs in music history. But Purple Rain only reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was blocked from the top spot by Wham's Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, another classic of the mid-80s. Wham's Bubblegum Appeal was irresistible to the masses at the time, giving them the #1 spot. Though it never hit the top spot, Purple Rain is one of the most celebrated songs of all time. It has now been inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame and has transcended the charts and became a timeless classic. Which iconic songs that were blocked from the #1 spot did I miss? Tell me in the comments below.